I love YouTube. It's probably the greatest tool for creative people that's ever existed. But YouTube isn't the same thing it was in the past. Years ago, original content creators and viral videos dominated the site and made it famous. But somewhere along the way, in their efforts to make the site as profitable as possible, things shifted. Maybe it was just my front page, but what used to be educational content, original comedy and commentary, and things like animation and viral short films, gave way to this. I've never actually seen how YouTube's algorithm works, but I noticed other people have started saying the same thing. And as a YouTuber myself, I took a closer look, and I noticed something a little bit scary, which is what I want to talk about today. A system that seems to have emerged from YouTube's algorithm, which deliberately removes good and original content. Seriously, check it out. First, you might know already about Goodhart's Law, which states that anything you propose to measure the quality of something will eventually distort that thing and make that measure useless. That obviously happened with YouTube's 10-minute rule, which was supposed to encourage creators to make longer content, which increases watch time and the number of advertisements YouTube can show. But instead, this led to videos that were deliberately padded out and empty, and thus lowered the quality of what people saw on average. On top of that, like other sites, YouTube realized that the premium front page access, which used to be saved for the content which genuinely seemed to be the best, could simply be sold to others or used for their own gain. But let's go beyond both of those, because what I really found is a bit different. And let me show it like this. One of my favorite videos of all time is Pale Blue Dot. It's a commentary on a photograph of Earth, which is about all of us, past and future, and how we share the planet. It's powerful enough to bring you to tears and make you think about life in a different way. The problem is, there's only one Pale Blue Dot video, or whatever video is most special to you. We only vote it up or put it in our favorites one time, our comment about how great it is counts once, and our view only lasts for that one showing. And those are the measures that YouTube's algorithm can see. But all of those measures can be matched or passed by videos that wouldn't mean nearly as much. A video that shows us how to do something on our computer, we can vote up as a thank you. A video that has a song we like or that kids like to see when they're bored, or that buys views or gets recommended by powerful friends, will get watched just as much, and in fact, many more times. A video that upsets us or makes us argue with each other will get just as many, and usually more comments. And a video that teases us by making us want to know or see something and not actually delivering will get clicked just as much, and actually watched longer, since people are waiting for an answer that never comes. So where does that leave Pale Blue Dot? As far as YouTube's algorithm is concerned, nowhere. There's nothing useful or unique about it. The only thing that made it special to us is totally invisible to it. A person putting up videos like Pale Blue Dot, or videos of real value, has no way of standing out by these measures. Now, Pale Blue Dot is an old video, so the amount of sharing it got initially, its view count, likely boosted it before the modern algorithm took over and locked down the front page and recommendations. So now, the only way that a video like Pale Blue Dot could get views, actually, is from outside sites and sharing. A person with many followers might repost it, but how will they see it? The uploader would have to know them already, or pay them, or have been recommended beforehand, which they're not. But that's not the end of the story, because there are some channels that get popular for uploading good things. So they get videos that are clicked by their previous viewers, lead to new clicks on their old videos, and are recommended in small amounts to a growing audience over time. This is the key for most of the popular uploaders who make good videos. But, and this is the key problem that we need to talk about, these people, the people over the last few years who have made the actual original comedy or pranks or commentaries or what have you, the ones who you might say have put the U in YouTube, are actually systematically weeded out. I'm going to use an example. In this case, GradeAUnderA, a totally original content creator who did have to use YouTube drama to get noticed, but who had fantastically funny videos, who very quickly grew to having an audience of millions of people. I've watched almost all of his stuff. But I knew, as soon as I saw a few of his videos, that GradeAUnderA could not last, because he was doing 10-minute videos that were hilariously funny, just about every week. And in reality, one person cannot keep that up. The programs you see on TV, which are about 20 minutes, are written by entire teams of people, with animators, producers, and financial backing, and even they can usually only produce around 20 episodes a year. For one person to do 10 minutes every week is just not something that's possible. And sure enough, signs started to show up in his work. Now, he said there were a lot of things in his personal life, but otherwise it matches this exactly. And so he burned out. And so have many other uploaders I've seen who've taken it upon themselves to make original, good content on a regular, long-term schedule.
Hey guys, I decided I'm not going to post any more video tutorials. The reason being is stuff like this actually gets way more views than I'll ever get.
Because the YouTube algorithm forces them to compete with other channels who can get the same numbers with far less effort. And this is quite simply an unwinnable fight.
I really hope Netflix doesn't go to thumbs up, thumbs down. You know, stubbing your toe, thumbs down. Adolf Hitler, thumbs down. I mean, there's a big gap.
Now, there are some channels that do upload like that frequently, but they have paid staff and editors, which creates an unpassable barrier for new or independent people. They just cannot match the numbers that the algorithm apparently now considers standard. Even their subscribers won't see their content if they don't upload frequently enough. And so, the only option, which we see, is for these people to either get burned out, left behind, or start doing reaction videos and other low-effort things themselves to try to keep up. The effect is like mass decapitation, because one of the requirements to be great at this thing actually stops people from succeeding at it. In this case, time and effort. And so it's like a hard cap on how good anything it produces can be. It might also be true in other areas, but here it's all-encompassing. And that is very dangerous, because in the real world, things extend beyond what currently exists, because that effort is justified by a new level of success. The only reason that we exist, that people evolved, is because the additional effort of walking upright and developing a large brain was met with greatly increased abilities. And what we've ended up with, on YouTube, is like a machine looking to see what people eat the most at a restaurant and deleting the entire menu except for salt and water. Now, of course, I don't know what YouTube does behind closed doors, but if the creative aspect of their site really means something to them, they should look at some other options to change this. Maybe they should give channels the option to highlight a video to their subscribers once a month, so that people who put in more effort and can't upload as frequently know they will at least get seen by their own audience. Maybe they want to implement a system with awards or more varied ratings or something similar, where content that does a little bit more for people actually has some countable measure that shows their algorithm that it's worth something. Other sites have done things like that with good results. But regardless, I think this is very important. YouTube became known. YouTube got to the point where their front page was valuable and advertisers and TV channels would pay them to be on it because of their original content. There's an entire world of creative space that transformed entertainment in just the last few years because of this gate being opened. YouTube has been that place and should be in the future. They just have to let it happen. So if you saw this video, somehow, I appreciate it. Share it anywhere you want. Talk to me on social media if you want to ask me about anything else. And as always, thanks for your time.